First, thank you very much for this opportunity, being in Chennai for the GTRC. Thank you very much also the opportunity of this interview. For this specific question, I think what is now currently required by the global markets, and in particular also in India, is flexibility and automation. So what the customers are requesting to us as a supplier of machinery, tailor-made machinery, is to give more flexibility to the machine, because the customer themselves want to enlarge the range of sizes of their tires, and so request the machine to have the opportunity to produce all these sizes. So flexibility in terms of sizing and more automation. So more automation for mainly two reasons. The first one is for quality output. So automatizing means having repeatability of the machinery, and so stringent quality requirements for the producers, from my customers, are reflecting in more requirements for the automation, so keeping the repeatability of the machine. The second requirement that is again on the automation side is that customers and worldwide customers are having less people, so less people in the plant. The workers prefer to have a simpler job, not very heavy, and retention in the plant is always very tough. So automation, unluckily, means sometimes replacing people, human beings, having the machine more stable, more reliable, and more repeatable. So flexibility and automation are the two key words for the global market. In particular of Indian markets, we receive some more interests in the OTR 3 and 4 drums, which was in the past mostly in agro. So our machinery, or better, the customers are requesting or are demanding more machines investing in the OTR area, which to us is also very welcome, because it is one of the key features of the Marangoni mechanical machinery. So agro before, OTR now, and we hope that we'll continue this trend. No, our specific target is agro and OTR and giant tires. So this is the peculiar DNA of the Marangoni Mechanical Machineries company. Of course, we need, in particular in these uncertain markets, we need to diversify. So we are entering in other niche market that requires our DNA, our capability in understanding the product of the customer and producing machinery accordingly. But our specific is agro, OTR, and giant machinery, giant tires. Well, basically, we work on tailor-made solutions. So we work on tailor-made solutions. Yeah. So basically, we follow strictly the requirements of the customer. Sometimes we work together also to understand their needs, so that we can tailor-made our machine. So what we have is not a machine, a new type of machine, but we have a new standard building blocks of the machine, so that when arrive a specific requirement for a customer, we pick up the specific standard blocks to build up the machine. This is more time effective. So we don't design everything from scratch, because the machine is anyway tailor-made. Of course, we might have some models that are a replication, but for the big systems, normally it's tailor-made. But doesn't mean that we start from scratch from the engineering point of view. We have our library with the building blocks, and we keep the most effective building blocks for that particular solution. But the important is always to work together with the customer to understand better their needs, to propose even alternatives, because sometimes the customer can propose a broader kind of requirements, and maybe not all are really supported by the necessity. So we might delete some specs, improving the machine. So the outcome of the machine is better thanks to this coordination between our engineering team and their process team from the customer. Yeah, here I want to read some of the key points, because I don't want to miss some of the points. So the first is that we newly patented the system in the electromechanical electromechanical bead lock system. So it's very important for the loading and unloading operation of the cars and the green tire. So it's very important because with these electromechanical patented flanges, we can have a complete and precise control over the diameters of the flanges. So this is again giving the accuracy of how we move, and this is of course reflecting in the accuracy of the output. Another point that is the drive that is controlled, so is electronic control, again means a more precise control of the bead lock, in particular the force, and so adjustable recipe, adaptable during the cycle. So again, these particular aspects is very important. Can be used or not, it depends a little bit on the solution. But this one is patented because was requested and can give a fluid, a continuous movement of the flanges, is opening and closing, that is much better in the operation, from the operation point of view. Another important point is in the tire assembly machinery. So single, multi-stage for bias and radial tires, we can do with a new tooling and process to get a higher quality and a faster cycle time. Again, wider sizes, wider ranges of sizes of the customers is reflecting in need to work to a solution. And we work in single or multi-stage for the bias and radial tires. This one is also helping us in giving an output to the customer. Another point is the strip winding machines platform. So again, we have a variety of solutions. Modular configuration can give us different, or can give the customer, or we can offer to the customer a different productivity and flexibility in the manufacturer organization. So we can propose our solution and then the plant manager can decide whether this is helpful for them. And here in the strip winding we have a variety of different dimensions, so to provide the best one for that particular solutions. Another important aspect that might be also reflecting to the first question is that the tooling. So the last generation of tooling, in particular the building drums, is requested to have less uptime and downtime when you need to change. So again, this one we need to work to make sure that our machine can host the setup of the machine very quickly, very reliable. So without disassembly all the machines that cost time and you risk to make mistakes during the reassembly phase, but to plug and play very quickly the tooling so that the customer, in particular in the plant and in the productive cycle, can have a lower downtime and being effective in the production. So these one are the most important aspects, and we will see that also the user-friendly HMI, the user-friendly interface with the operator, is also helping in giving some technological advantage to use the machine. So some are hardware, let me say. So strip winding, electromechanical flanges are more hardware, so how is based the machine. Other is interface with the human, so the operators, the maintenance people, so to make sure that also the machine is user-friendly and easy to operate. These are the most important technical advantages. Yes, this depends a little bit on the geopolitical moment. Today there is a little bit of uncertainty, and so the customers are a little bit slow pace in producing new investments. Yes, the footprints, the plans are to have some opportunity to grow globally. So far, I think it's better to keep the footprint as we are in this moment, and we need to see the developments of the customers themselves. So, but there is the opportunity, of course. We are scouting this opportunity to be flexible enough in the next future and to be also reacting quite fast. So plans are there, in particular in the Asia area, in which we have our good market. But so far we are working from our headquarters in Rovereto. Challenges, as I said a little bit earlier, is uncertainty of the global world. So customer is keeping some investments holding, and we need those investments, because reflecting in projects, for us to be proposed, because then is a continuity for the companies like us. Uncertainty anyway is giving us for the few projects that are going on. Again, come back to the first question, flexibility. So the uncertainty is creating the customer puzzle, which will be the sizes that can be successful in a certain market. So because they don't have also the answer, or better, they prefer to have flexibility in the machines, flexibility in their output, the uncertainty is reflecting to us in the flexibility of the machine. So again, it's coming back the word flexibility, because also it depends on the overall market of the customers. So in this case, again, as we said earlier, there is a compromise that if I give too much flexibility, I need on the other side to give less cycle time, less productivity. This compromise is always can be debatable and can be at a certain moment agreed which kind of flexibility you want, so that is reflecting to a certain cycle time. If you want a dedicated machine, of course you can produce more with the dedicated sizes. If you want more flexibility, the production time normally suffers a little bit. But uncertainty is reflecting flexibility. Flexibility can give an answer anyway, even in not uncertain moment. So is something that we are working. Sometimes need also to work, we also said a little bit earlier, in the tooling. So flexibility is reflecting in try to keep as less as possible the tooling. Sometimes, of course, is necessary also to have more toolings. But okay, if I give more toolings because I need to be more flexible, the downtime should be also limited. So again, as I said earlier, we cannot dismantle the whole machines just to change the tooling. So the tooling should be, the machine should be good enough to have a replacement of the new tooling with the maintenance people in a certain time, and to lose as less as possible this tooling cycle time. So multi-size tooling and quick size changes is also a new philosophy. It's not today, is for a certain years, but we are always focusing on that. So the challenge here is how to answer, how a machinery producer can answer to an uncertainty of the market. Yes, flexibility, toolings, and uptime and downtime for the toolings. These are the 3 points. Is of course in the differentiation. So we said that Marangoni, the key points of Marangoni is to be a supplier of Agro and OTR and giant tires. If there is uncertainty in the market, there are some other niches that request our DNA, our capability to answer to the customer needs. So there are other products that might request our technology, our DNA, our engineering DNA and our engineering capability, such as rubber tracks, air springs, radial avio, band builders, agricultural application. So these are all products that request a DNA that is similar to the one of Marangoni for the OTR and the Agro tires. So we just need to be flexible, adaptable, but we have a solid knowledge in our engineering department and operational department to give answers to the customer. Basically the same. So it's the product line that have differentiated, and we can follow the customer in this differentiation. Yeah, the 4.0 is again helping in an upper level. So as we said earlier, the upper level means the use of the data and user-friendly machines. So these are the two main streams of 4.0. So interface, user-friendly, HMI, this is helping the operator, helping the maintenance people to understand what's happening to a machine and to improve and to make sure that a user-friendly machine can be operated in the proper way. On the other side, the use of the data, upper level, so the customer can use those data to have their product output, to understand the productivity of the machine, to understand the running time, to understand at the end of the day the ROI of their investment, so the level of investment they have. So this is the main streamline of the 4.0. Of course, 4.0 is also helping in sustainability. So again, if I work with my suppliers and we need to keep an eye, sustainability means reduce consumptions, reduce powers. So this one, thanks to the suppliers that are producing components that are helping the machinery producer, and at the end of the day, they are helping the customer in reduce the energy level and the consumption level. This one is also an area of the 4.0 to help both machinery and customer for the consumption, the sustainability of the machinery themselves. Yes, absolutely. We need to follow the green wave, even if it can be difficult thinking that the machine should be more sustainable. Anyway, we need to work in the areas in which is possible. For instance, reducing the weight of the machine is helpful. Utilizing better materials to produce the components of the machine is helpful, or using components, so suppliers can produce components that are more efficient, renewable plastic, for instance, or airflow controls, so adding controls or reducing the weight or using other materials. Those are all answers to the question of the sustainability. So to help the footprint, the ecological footprint, also in the sense of the machine, is always possible.
And are you implementing some of this?
Yes, we are implementing some of these. Sometimes I need to say that also the suppliers are pushing for some new products to be implementing, explaining that those components may be more costly, but goes in that direction. So then in our choice, in the choice also of the customer, reflecting in being transparent with the customer that this can be an opportunity for both, and so implementing them. In this case, it's very helpful to have partners with the suppliers, because promoting and keeping always an eye on what they propose every year is very important, because can help Marangoni Machinery produce a more sustainable machines, and of course reflecting to the customer to have less consumption at the end.